All right, so we do have Mr. Allan Stewart, Director of TEMA. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Stewart.
Good morning, Brother B, and good morning all of Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, let's get into let me go straight into this hurricane season. When is the hurricane season supposed to be over?
Well, what I know is that the hurricane season starts from the 1st of June to the 30th of November.
November.
But the pundit of meteorology today is saying that we may in for a long winter, in the sense that this hurricane season might even go into December, because they have observed that everything is happening late with this hurricane season. I can see the ferocious storm. This is what you had this week is something that you may see. The hurricane normally peaked around the 10th of between August and September, but now you're seeing these storms are developing very late.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we've had the passing of Melissa that destroyed Jamaica, Haiti, and Bahamas. Just give us the territories, and where is Melissa now?
Currently, Melissa has made its way across Haiti, and is now going beyond has passed through the Bahamas, going out to ocean, and the next stop, if possible, will be in the line of fire, will be Bermuda.
Is it gaining strength, or is it gaining strength?
Currently, it is. You have Melissa is packing winds up to 105 miles per hour, so it still has maintained its strength as a Category 2 hurricane after going through all of these islands.
All right. Are there any other hurricanes cited by meteorologists?
While there isn't any coming off the African coast at this time, there is a possibility that there could be. So we are still, as indicated, it's a late season where these things are happening. So one needs to be very mindful of that, especially those of us in Trinidad and Tobago. I think Blue Food, to help the memory of persons when we have that weather system. So Melissa is part of what started just above us, between us and Grenada, on the 18th of October. If you recall, Blue Food Festival. Yeah.
Very good. All right. In terms of sending aid to Jamaica, the last time TEMA was responsible for collecting whatever items, you came on the very program here speaking of what people should send or bring to TEMA back at Fairfield Complex. What have you been mobilized already? Are you ready to receive items? Where are we in terms of getting ready to send whatever aid we can to Jamaica?
Yes, day before yesterday, we had a meeting with SEDEMA. We also had a meeting with ODPM at around 2, and then there was one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with SEDEMA. What we are anxiously awaiting is the needs list. I just want to caution those of us who need the help. Jamaica is very much far away from us, and the region is divided up into zones. And yes, there is, based on the outcomes of those discussions, there will be aid. As a matter of fact, one of our personnel from TEMA, Mr. Becco, is already called up to be prepared to go to Jamaica to provide assistance at their operation center anytime today. That may happen. So they are on standby, and I believe we have put things in place to allow for the reception of relief items. But I just want to caution caution persons that this is not a time for dumping stuff. There will be a needs list, and we will make that needs list available to the general public to know what are the things that they are requesting. And therefore, when that is done, we will make it immediately available to the public, and we can do our best. Our warehouse is standing by as a receptive area to receive these donations, to be able to have these relief items packaged and sent according to whatever is the transport arrangement that is put in place through the National Disaster Office.
Mm-hmm. All right. We spoke with a reporter yesterday from Jamaica, and building materials was one of the needs that they would have for people to maybe rebuild their roof and so on, galvanize and so on. Has there been any coordination with the varying hardwares in Tobago and maybe Trinidad, the ODPM down there? And how is it going to be a total collaboration? Is it Tobago separate or Trinidad separate, or we're putting all together and send out there to Jamaica? From the
idea is there's a structure of the disaster management mechanism in the Caribbean, supervised by TEMA, and therefore Trinidad and Tobago government or ODPM has a responsibility in this region to coordinate things to take to wherever it is needed. So that is being put in place as we speak. They are ready, and what they are awaiting is exactly the needs list. In other words, some of the things that we may think that is absolutely necessary, they may not want that from our region. If you know where Jamaica is located, it is further northeast of us, closer to the Americas. So there are discussions about setting up funding arrangement where not all of the island was destroyed, and therefore there are things that funding will provide from very close to where Jamaica is or inside Jamaica itself. So those type of discussions are taking place where accounts will be set up in the official accounts verified by TEMA coming out of Jamaica itself as to how aid. So it's the logistics of moving material, example, heavy materials from Trinidad and Tobago, that may take time, and therefore the logistics of moving these things in, for example, the airport and the availability of the airport, they are coordinating these responses so that these items, if they could have a second port where things can be dropped off and then bring it onto the island, things like that are in the discussion phase as we speak, and there are other parties further north that are providing some of the things that we think that they may need. So the needs list for Trinidad and Tobago, as I will repeat that again, we are awaiting that needs list, and I believe that will be made available today based on a meeting that they had yesterday. It's one of the things we want to have an appreciation for is that the what you call a rapid need assessment team has been deployed to do just that, to find out. They have 72 hours window to do that. So that is the reason why I could say, based on their standard operating procedure, by today, that list will be out. The country that is affected supposed to be able to tell the rest of the world, hey, we need X, Y, Z. These are the priority items. These is the account that if you need to send money in order for us to do so and so and so, this is where you send it to. So today we expect that to be visible. That's the reason why we tell people prepare for 72 hours.
All right. Okay. I want to shift gears now to your responsibility. Coming to the Carnival, but I want to deal quickly with your responsibility and give us your portfolio when it comes to the marine space where vessels are sinking. And you said that there's, as far as you're concerned, there's no party boats that are supposed to be operating. We had yet another sinking of a vessel based on overload. You said investigation is ongoing. Just give us your portfolio there. I want to be clear.
Yeah, so Yes, the chairman of the Bucca Reef Marine Park executive committee that has been established by the Executive Council of the Tobago House of Assembly. So this comprises of a body of persons, stakeholders, some of which are associated with the Bucca Reef and what is happening down there. For example, the reef boat operators, you have the jet ski operators, the no man's land persons who vend there. While they are not an association, we facilitate. So all the interest groups that have a stake, the construct of the committee is comprised of all of them, and one will understand the importance of that where collaboration is concerned, and therefore we have been meeting on regularly, very regularly. As you know, I'm a stickler for speed. I like speed. And so Monday we have a next meeting called, and we have been meeting on a regular basis, sometimes once a week. We meet, not just waiting on the months. Months will not work for us because of what is at stake here. So we have been meeting regularly, and out of that we have been in accordance to the mandate of the Tobago House of Assembly and its policy towards. There is a policy document that speaks to the use of the marine park, and therefore, if one is to utilize it, you must have, it's a restricted area by law. The law that has been in place since 1970 came into an act in 1973. Those are the things that govern these spaces, and persons who wish to occupy or to utilize it for their own pleasure, for their own entrepreneurial interests, must be willing to abide by these regulatory structures and abide by them. I think it is fair because, as we know, the biodiversity of the ecosystem, it is very much part of our life. Mm-hmm. Our life depends on it, and therefore we have to take care of it going forward. And therefore, that is where the permissions comes in. It's a restricted area to require. Some people have yearly permits. Some people, if you're going to do, let's suppose, a nocturnal operation, meaning in the night, then definitely that requires a particular permission, because it's where your birds sleep in the sanctuary of the lagoon and things like that, the nesting, and therefore you cannot disturb. You cannot disturb. It's the only place, I am told by the IMA, that the seagrass, we are one of the few places, and they are cherishing it, that has seagrass bed. And therefore, if you just go in there with any type of popular systems with shallow water and you disturb it, then you are interfering with the ecosystem. The places where you have birds and also fishes and spawn and things like that, you have to take care of it, and it must be managed.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
People,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll wait till the next question.
Very good. All right. So let me go to the carnival. I think we got enough there. A successful carnival, injury-free, incident-free rather. But just tell us overall as to any reports that we may not have heard of as far as TEMA is concerned.
Well, this carnival, it was, I think we are getting better and better at it. The organization level was very excellent, and I want to pause to take this opportunity to thank all of the stakeholders, especially the festival committee and their logistics, their preparation, and you can see the improvements and the growth. Concerning the reports, there were minor incidents. I remember according to our reports, we had people of a couple persons. There was a couple falls as a result of local zombies tripping and things like that. There was also, what I observed, that there was quite a few exhaustion. So it means that people need to look at their stuff. A lot of people at the end of the parade, they were like falling ill as a result of exhaustion, and that is something that came to us. But the violence, we did not see the violence in the Carnival, and this has been something that I think we have well managed over the years, whereby CCTV systems utilizing of UAVs help us to detect what you may call disturbance in crowds, that you could say, well, yeah, look, something is going on here. The paraders and the band routes, they were able to communicate, react to the excellent role. The Radio Emergency Associated Communications team working with the band marshals and communicating firsthand what are some of the problems. Yes, there were teething issues. I understand that a foreigner fell into a gap in one of the surfaces on the close to the coast guard base down there. It's something that we were very much concerned about. I think on your program, you heard me spoke about that. You know, that we want to make sure that we liaise with the IQUD to get those services. Okay. So, but apart from that, the Carnival went well. The command post, the spread of the medical posts across the area, the availability, there were about 8 ambulances involved in this year's Carnival, the highest numbers that I have come across. And so the responses were very quick, and the medical teams, they came up with a very fantastic medical plan. They were able to identify the possible hazard for each of the events that we had on Friday, that we had on Sunday. They were able to single out things that they think that would have been medical hazards, and to me that went quite well.
Excellent. Mr. Stewart, we want to thank you very much for being here with us this morning, and indeed we will chat with you at some point in time again. Thank you, sir, and all the best to you.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Very good.
Good morning.